When I worked in East LA, I wound up in the gang unit.
We didn't call ourselves gang members. We were social clubs.
There's a difference between a guy who's commuting to work and a car that's cruising and looks like a shark.
We're talking about a whole new culture. We had our own slang. The calor was different.
Chicana, as in Mexican-American women, were sort of using American culture.
It wasn't just the way they dressed, it's the way they walk.
Streets ain't woke. You're gonna get shot and killed.
We're always different. We're going to be different, and this is just no way around it.
That's part of us being Chicanos, because that's what we went through.
American Homeboy, only in theaters this August and September. Los Angeles, Portland, Albuquerque, Tucson, Chicago, and San Francisco. Get your tickets now. AmericanHomeboy.com. Bienvenidos to the Latino Slant. It is another live edition of the week. And this is a special edition as we bring to you Brandon Loren Maxwell, the creator and writer of the Daily Chela, as well as filmmaker of American Homeboy documentary. We're going to talk about his film, about politics and pop culture. So buckle up, essays. Pues vámonos. Paulie here on the Latino Slant. Welcome everybody to a special edition of our live show. We are usually live every Monday afternoon, 12:30 p.m. But today we have a special live show as well. Try to keep it that same time, that same little hour. So for the next hour or so, we have a very special guest. We have the writer and the founder of the Daily Chela, Brandon Loren Maxwell. Now, with the Daily Chela, you guys know that I tend to do a lot of videos based off their articles. I'll read them to you. I'll agree. I'll disagree. Literally, I'll agree, disagree, sometimes within a paragraph of what they're talking about. But that's because with the Chela, these guys are almost the only guys I really take seriously when it comes to Latinos and real world issues, whether it's from politics to pop culture. I cannot recommend the Daily Chela enough. Now, what Homeboy has done is that he went off, raised his own money, and created a feature film-length documentary called American Homeboy. And that's why we're here together with him and with you guys live in the chat. You saw the little intro there. So I want to do a couple things before I bring him on. I want to say hello to you guys. So I want you guys right now in the chat start saying hello to each other. Also, too, we have a voting poll in regards to indie filmmaking. So before we get to that, let's also do this. I did the tweet out on Twitter. Reshare it, share it wherever you can. This is a very special show, especially if you're watching this on the replay. Hit the like and comment. Okay, so let's go off topic of today's special show. We are going to bring in Fletcher Williams, the producer of the show. What's up, hermano?
Hola, gente.
Hey, we got something to announce. We're going to have a movie night in person at the AMC Burbank 16 the weekend of August 18th. And what's happening August 18th?
Well, I wonder what could happen. I mean, I think it was something that you were talking about. Oh man, I can't really put my finger on it. It could. Oh man, it's something to do with a certain little thing that flies and is blue, maybe.
All right, guys, here it is. We're doing a Blue Beetle movie night. You can come and hang out with us. What we're gonna do for you guys is we're gonna get your movie tickets, your popcorn, all covered, courtesy of the Latino Slant. Also, too, we're going to invite some really cool people you might have seen on the channel, actors, writers, directors. They're going to come and hang out. But the key thing here is that whether you like the film or not, I want you to guys come and hang out with us, and let's extend the Latino Slant community and do our first event out there. What I want to do right now, Fletcher, is get the word out to people that are living in the Southern California area, maybe even as far as Vegas, Arizona, if they want to venture and come and join us the weekend of the 18th. We're going to have movie tickets for sure, movie tickets, popcorn. We're also probably going to have like movie posters. We're going to have stuff to give out. Fletcher, is there anything you wanted to add?
Oh yeah, I mean it's a fun it's gonna be a fun time. You're gonna get to meet Paulie. We don't know exactly who's we already have a few people that are gonna come, but you never know who's gonna show up. And there's could be surprises and you know
Yes.
we're working on
Right.
other things behind the scenes. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
So what we're going to do also too in regards to like maybe the actors and directors and stuff, not of the film, but they're going to come and support and hang out. With the strike, there's only so many things they can and can't do, but what they can do is watch a movie with us. And so there'll be some fun people in the audience with us hanging out. So I want you right now to mark the weekend of the 18th. There's more details to come, more exciting details to come. We're probably going to reserve an entire movie theater just for that. We have sponsors coming in. We want it to be like a 200 seater at the AMC. So we got people working on it, Fletcher. I'm excited, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I know sometimes you guys are like, "What? I wonder what they're doing." Well, the behind the scenes, is this kind of stuff we're doing,
Yeah.
and we really want you guys to be part of it. Come and meet Paulie, and come and meet surprise people.
Yep.
Like we can't say much, but all we can say is that we're working hard behind the scenes, trying to make this event something that's going to be awesome.
And so check that out. That'll be wonderful. And Syfax, it's gonna be at our AMC 16 that we go to every week with Chris Gore. And so Chris Gore is gonna be there. Syfax, we'll have some other people. It's probably gonna be that Friday or Saturday night. We're not gonna do it on a Thursday night. I think it'll be easier for people to travel and for people to make their plans. So that's the story. Will be Salma, if she's gonna be there, she'll be there in her bikini and
right.
giving
blue
free
bikini.
workouts. We're gonna have an inflatable pool. Oh, wait a minute. Oops.
Yeah, you can't say too much about it. You can't give away everything.
Hey, I'm sorry. She's in SAG. She can't make it.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't have to promote the film.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go, man. That is the Blue Beetle announcement, and also too, every day here on the channel we're having a daily short called the Daily Beetle. I'm giving updates every day on the film. Now, someone said something. I was talking to someone in the business, and we're trying to get this thing going, and I said, I might be a little biased because this is, a superhero film that's all Latino. And they said, I'm definitely biased. And you know what? If you can admit it, there's nothing wrong with it. We want some positivity going towards this film. We want it to be a success. I hope to God it's good. But
yes.
Hey, that's why we're doing it. That's why we're the Latino Slant. We're doing the same thing with American. We're doing the same thing with American Homeboy, by the way.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, you're going in and out. You're back to your old ways.
Dang.
Gotta take him out. Oof, that sounded bad. All right. Well, Fletcher will join us later on. What I'd love for you guys to do right now is to share the link. We're here for a special live edition of the Latino Slant. We're always live every Monday, 12:30 p.m. Pacific. Let's say hello to people first before we bring in our guest. Mojin's here. Krusty Moco, Syfax, Bonzo. What's up, Bonzo? Penny, hola Penny. Deleted scenes. ¿Qué pasó? TF. Got some nice people here. Just another red shirt. Got some great early birds here. Share the link. Let them know that we're here. All right. So, our special guest, he hasn't been on the show. I think it's a couple of years now. How time flies. It's just kind of bizarre. But he has been very busy, and not only creating this film for you called American Homeboy, but also to building the structure around it to get it to where you can see it across the country and eventually on streamers. So let's bring him. Bring him in. He's the founder of the Daily Chela, as well as one of the writers for it. Brandon Loren Maxwell. What's up, homie?
What's up, man? Has it really been a couple of years since I've been on the show?
Dude, it's 2023.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I was on, but it's crazy how time flies if that's true.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute, but
yeah.
Listen, you're here. We're happy you're here, man. How are you today?
I'm good. Yeah, just pushing a lot of work kind of going into the premiere, which is in about a week and a half in LA. So we're kind of tying up some loose ends, working with the theaters, making sure that everything is, in place. So,
I mean, that's crazy that it's already a week and a half. August 10th.
Yeah,
you're doing a Los Angeles premiere. But let's try to start from the beginning here in regards to American Homeboy, and that's what it's called. What drove you to make this feature documentary? I mean, because all due respect, right? You're not a filmmaker. I know you've written scripts and stuff like that in the past, but why this project? I know you've been working really hard in the last couple of years. So that is kind of my first curious question.
Yeah, well, I think, a lot of people seemed surprised when I said that I was going to go direct my own film. And, I think most people know me obviously from writing and, I talk politics a lot and stuff, but, even though my major was political science, my minor was film. And so I've always been a film buff. And that the people who know me know that. I don't talk about film a lot on social media, but I'm a pretty big film buff and I'm really into music too. So I've always wanted to make films to some extent. I've always wanted to, I think, feature a culture that has had a huge impact on my life and a culture that I love, a subculture that I love. And so, yeah, like you said, I've written scripts and I just finished a new screenplay that I'm going to try to raise money for to direct. That's a feature, but documentary is a little bit easier, more affordable to make. So that's what we started off with. And so I felt like I was saying last night on another podcast, I just felt that, the culture kind of deserves a full length, serious documentary that's done in a really compelling, dramatic, artistic, and serious way. I think a lot of the things that I see sometimes, I see a lot of meme pages. I see a lot of things that focus on the aesthetics, but not a lot of things that necessarily focus on kind of the history or talk to the people in the culture, people who lived it, people who hold it near and dear to their hearts in the same way that I do. I don't think people have explored it in all of its different angles. I explore it, the good, the bad, and the ugly, everything, because it's beautiful.
Let's put a pause really quick. And in regards to it, you're talking about the lowrider culture,
the film,
Chicano culture.
Well, so the film really is. It's an exploration, I think, of the movements that were born out of the Zoot Suit era, the World War II. So you have lowrider culture, you have Cholo culture, you have the Chicano civil rights movement that happened not far after that, and you have these kind of different lanes that all interweave off and on throughout the decades, and you have this whole history that led up to World War II and led up to kind of these subcultures coming to fruition. And so, we try to kind of cover about 100 years of history.
Wow.
I know it's a big undertaking. And, to do that, obviously there's a lot of events that we couldn't focus on, that we couldn't talk about. You're talking about a lot of history. So there's a lot of things that we could have talked about that we didn't. But what I wanted to do was create something that the average person could watch and they can learn a lot. At least they can look at it and be like, oh, so that's where that comes from. Oh, that's why that is the way it is. That's why they love that so much. And I think for the newer generation, it'll be important for them to understand where this stuff comes from. And so,
Yeah, we have a video that you put up recently. I think it's about not even a minute long. Let's watch it, and then if you can comment a little bit, that would be fantastic. Cool.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's go right here.
Once that gang injunction went into place, you can kind of tell it became more like a patrolled state environment. You mean a lot of homies started dwindling down. They were getting incarcerated for hanging out with each other. And I'm talking about cousins and brothers and siblings, family could no longer hang out with each other because of gang enhancement, the STEP Act. The STEP Act. It was a racially motivated law that kicked off. You know what I mean? I want to say it's been around since the late 80s, the STEP Act, but it didn't hit my particular neighborhood till the early 2000s.
Okay, so what is he talking about? Who is this person? And this is a clip from your film. Who is this person? What is he talking about? The STEP Act?
Well, so all those black and white kind of videos that we've been posting on our page, those are kind of behind the scenes footage. So some of them are in the film, but the film doesn't look like that. Like the film's in color. The film looks like the trailer. But all the reason we make them black and white is so people can make a distinction between these are just kind of outtakes. These are behind the scenes conversations.
Okay, so it's an outtake. Nice. Okay.
That part actually, a lot of that, some of that is in the film, but the black and white ones for the most part are just little clips behind the scenes, things like that. So, so that's Jerry, and he's actually he appeared in this Fool on Hulu, the first season.
As an actor,
he was there. And so, but I met him some years back, and I just wanted to have him share his experiences, with dealing with the justice system. A lot of people in this subculture and a lot of black and brown communities in general have been through the justice system in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of laws and policies that disproportionately zero in on black and brown communities. And that's just a fact. That's not me being overly woke. It's the truth. And I went also through the justice system and dealt with laws that were unfair. And so, we talk a little bit about this, or for those that don't know, Richard Valdemir is in the film. He was a FBI agent, special FBI agent focused on gangs. He's one of the leading gang enforcement, former East LA sheriff, Compton, from the 70s and 80s. He's like the crash unit guy. And he's in the film, and we get his perspective on a lot of this, and you'd be surprised. There are areas where he agrees, where there's agreement across the board between law enforcement and people in the streets who think that these laws don't work. They break up families, they break up communities. So you can't talk about this subculture without talking about some of those things. Of course, when you go back to World War II, you have a bunch of Zoot Suiters getting rounded up. And then in the 80s, 90s, you have gang injunctions and things like that. And so you have mandatory minimum sentencing, you have 3 strikes. I mean, the list goes on. And the damage sometimes lasts generations.
We're going to get back to politics. Trust me. I want to go back to you as far as like this role as a filmmaker, putting this all together in this process that you've been going through. What was the biggest surprise for you? Like whether it was a challenge or whether it was easy?
It's, the biggest surprise to me was how many people online are full of crap. There are so many people on social media that talk a big game about how they're involved in Hollywood and how they do this and doing that. And then when you actually are at the point of making a movie, or you're raising money, or you're doing something, you find out they actually have no connections at all. And so I would say I met a lot of people like that. A lot of people who talk about how much they know the industry, how involved they are with the industry. And then when it came down to it, actually doing something, and I would go to them, I'd find out that they weren't what they pretended to be at all. They had zero connections. They had no connections to financiers, to distributors, to nothing, agents. I mean, so I mean, I had to push the project through by myself, which was fine because I mean,
Mhm.
I'm used to doing things like that anyways. But I quickly found out that there wasn't really anybody that I could rely on that was going to give me a hand, So you had to be kind of clever to push the project through. You had to find other ways to get it done because doing it the conventional way wasn't going to happen unless you want to wait for 20 years.
So you have been able to get this film to be in several different movie theaters in several different states. How did that happen? Because that's pretty amazing. And I think it could be, maybe a kind of like do-it-yourself blueprint for would-be doc filmmakers. But how did you get that to happen?
Well, it started out with doing, we did the premiere, and that was just renting out the theater. But I thought, well, maybe I'll reach out to just one independent theater and see if they were interested off the trailer because our trailer did so well. I think we've done like 3 million views right now across social media, and so we checked with the theater and they were instantly interested, and so they're like, yeah, let's get you in for a date in August. So I talked to some of our writers at Daily Chela. I was like, hey, let's reach out to some theaters and just see if we can replicate this process. And the funny part is none of the theaters we reached out to ended up responding. But what we did have is other theaters that began reaching out to us after they saw that Portland had picked it up. And then we had Albuquerque, and then we had Tucson, and then we had San Francisco, and then it just like kind of snowballed. And now I think we're almost at 10 cities. We picked up some more cities yesterday that we haven't announced yet.
They're not on your website yet? I was just going to bring your website up.
Yeah, no. Well, I'll just say it right here. Like, it looks like we're also most likely it's going to be picked up in San Diego. And then we're also, and then yesterday we it looks like we're closing Sacramento as well. So we're at about 10 cities almost. And so I just don't have them all up on the site yet. And I'll get those once the kind of papers are finalized and things like that. There's a lot that goes behind these things. You got to like negotiate ticket splits and all these different things. So,
so you built this site, like you've kind of been building this whole like apparatus to support what you've been doing. So everything's unconventional as far as what you've done to get this film out.
Yeah. So what we did is I raised money twice, well, 3 times really, but really for 2 different things. So we raised money to, kind of have our own platform, which was focused on news and culture, but we wanted to create an app where we could put video on. And so then we raised money to make a movie. And then the idea was to put the movie on our own platform. Right. So we wanted to be able to have people go to our app and download it on iOS or Roku and then watch the movie. So that was the plan. And that's still the long-term plan, but we didn't think we'd get picked up by theaters in 10 cities. I actually had to change the game plan a little bit because, I wanted to make a film that was interesting, but I didn't think it was going to be what it's become. And so, we're going to still put it on the app September 14th, but we've definitely had to change some things because we didn't think we would be getting bombarded with emails and so many people that were interested. So, and getting the film shot, you kind of had to be clever because I couldn't afford film equipment, and to rent a film crew, you're talking, it can be anywhere between $5,000 and $20,000 a day for like a documentary. Right. And so I contacted a guy who works on Unsolved Mysteries for Netflix and basically said, hey, this will be a great opportunity. I think this could be a really cool project. We have a lot of amazing footage that we've restored. Can we negotiate some type of rate discount? And we work on your hours, and then we use your $50,000 camera. And so he came on board. And so he shot with us over 3 years, the same.
Look at that, guys. I hope you guys are listening, Slantinos, whether you're watching live or on the replay. If you're new to the channel, also too, you're just like a filmmaker or someone creative. Listen to how Brandon is kind of like, with this unconventional method in regards to whether it's a barter, whether it's raising venture capital. You did it, man. You did it. And I know in us talking, you had some Hollywood people knocking, some Hollywood interactions, but there's no one from Hollywood behind this, in a sense, as
Right.
far as money and
Sure.
time.
Yeah. No, there was some nice people. There was a couple people from Hollywood who make big films who reached out to me and offered to help where they could. And I have nothing but respect and love for those people that had reached out, and they helped where they could. But there wasn't a lot of help that you could do because most people are kind of at the mercy of distribution companies and financiers. And so to get a project greenlit is complex and the process can take years. And so, I don't like waiting. And so I just figured it was better. I can go directly to my own audience, and I know that I'm talented. And so I'll just did the film myself, and push it through. And if people want to come along and see it, that's great. And, the funny part about it is now we have meetings with a bunch of streamers and distributors in November, because people, people have noticed the film and things like that. So we'll see. I mean, for me, I want to keep it accessible for people. So I'm reluctant to just hand it over because a lot of these companies will just take it and they'll shelve it or they'll stream it for a bit. And I want the community to be able to access it for a long time and for us to be able to control our own IP. Because one of the mistakes that I see people make on a young creative level is that they give away the rights to all their work. And then they don't control any of it. Other people control it, and other people control their destiny and control what they do. And I don't want that. I like being in control. And so I want to control my own creative output. And so that's a lot of reasons why I did this too, because I know we can continue to build this platform and create other projects while not having to answer to anyone or get censored by anyone. Because before we move on to your next thing, I met with somebody from Netflix and they wanted me to remove the word Chicano.
Yeah. So actually,
and I told them no.
Right. So I was going to that question would have been formed as because we kind of jumped to advice for future indies, which is great. And Solomon in the chat asked the same thing. But let's go ahead and in regards to that, because it's American Homeboy, it's a very defined identity of what you're covering. And the fact that Netflix told you to take out the word Chicano is like cutting your left arm off. I want you guys to understand in the audience is that that is like part of the identity and experience, unlike other terms out there. But yeah, go ahead and tell us about, I mean, if there's a little more crazy detail with that Netflix telling you to do that.
There's a lot of different people who field and look for content for Netflix. So this is just one person. So there could be other people in there that wouldn't have the same request. So just to make that clear, because it's not like they haven't had documentaries that mention the word Chicano, but this particular person who was a scout in some sense, and their area of expertise or scouting was social media influencers. So they looked to broker reality shows and things like that for Netflix. That was his area. But he came across me through somebody else. And so he wanted to learn more about the film. And we met and we were in talks for a few months. And I did things, edits and things like that they can review it. But he was nervous about the word Chicano because there's a faction of people who they don't like that term. And so he wanted me to remove it from the trailer so they can play it at a meeting. And he wanted me to see if it was possible to remove it from the film. And I just said, no, I was like, it's not going to happen. The film is about being Chicano, I mean, there are different strands and different types of personalities and perspectives within that stratosphere. Certainly. Not everybody agrees on everything, but yeah, it's you can't make a film about what I made and then take off the word Chicano, right? Like that's the heartbeat of everything. So
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised
Yeah.
that, and I don't think it's just that one person who says and thinks that, because they got to toe that line.
Well,
Yeah,
that was another thing that I learned in this process was that a lot of there are Latinos who are in Hollywood that are gatekeepers in a sense, who also don't like the word Chicano. I mean, it's amazing that you get the things that get pushed through that they do sometimes, because there's so many forces at work against getting a project made. I mean, it's hard for anybody to make a project, regardless of race or class. But it's really hard if you're going to make, a documentary about Chicanos, because they just don't know the audience,
or
and
even
a lot of people don't.
much less a film. And let's jump to that the film Flaming Hot, regardless of what you think of the content and the controversy behind the story. He's a definitive Chicano, ex-gang member, homeboy. That's his story, and he continues to say that as far as being Chicano. And the film uses Chicano tropes in it as well to push the story along. That had a hard time being made, and that wasn't really promoted at all. They didn't give it a release. It took kind of like the ingenuity, kind of what you're doing as far as the people behind it to like get the word out like Latinos do. You want to comment on that?
Yeah, I don't know how much of the film is true or not. I see conflicting stories, but just as a story, regardless of whether or not it's true, just as a film, I thought it turned out better than I was expecting. And I didn't, I wasn't really sure what to expect at first. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun film. And, as far as what's true or what's not, I mean, I guess all films are embellishments to some extent, even biopics. So, I thought it was good to see the film get the attention that it did, and to see as many people liked it. And I think the thing that irked me more than the film was seeing lazy politicians like Biden have the film played at the White House because they thought that was the way to reach Latinos or something like that. Because rather than actually do real outreach, let's just stream a movie at the White House, and that's pretty typical of politicians. But I thought the film was entertaining. I thought she did a really good job directing it.
Yeah, Eva Longoria. Let's get back to your film in regards to where it will be seen. Joe's Atmosphere is asking anywhere in Louisiana.
No, nowhere in Louisiana. I have had 2 people from Louisiana though now ask unless that's the same person. But so yeah, I've had 2 requests from Louisiana. Once I get into the South, I get a little bit out of my area in terms of connections, and outside of Atlanta. I know Atlanta, but but for everybody who isn't able to see it in the theater, is limited as it might be, it's going to be on the app on September 14th, and you can download that app from iOS, the Apple App Store, or Roku channel, the Roku channel store. So yeah, everybody will be able to watch it. And if they don't have Roku or Apple, they can just watch it online at dailychelatv.com.
Well, and that's the question that I put up as a voting theme is where do you watch independent films, TVs or docs, right? Where do you watch them? Cinemas, streamers, Rent? I don't, but now I will. 57% say streamers, then 25% cinemas, 14% we're honest, I don't, but now I will, and 4% actually rent the DVD, Blu-ray of an independent film. So you can still keep voting. That that'll keep us going there. Anything there in regards to like how people now get to watch independent films or docs?
Yeah, I think this is actually something good that Netflix did. I think Netflix made documentaries accessible and popular again. And so, I've always been a fan of documentaries. I'm old enough to remember when you could watch a documentary in the movie theater. And now you never see that. I mean, actually, now I think about it, it's kind of rare. It's rare for me to have my film in a theater, let alone it be a documentary. So that just kind of occurred to me. But I remember when you could watch documentaries in the movie theaters regularly. So I'm old school. I still go to like secondhand stores and I look through DVDs, and I like DVDs. I still buy DVDs. I do think that Tubi's great. I think Prime and all these. I think a lot of streamers have documentaries. If you look hard enough, you can find.
Our friend Kenneth Castillo's got his film on Tubi right now.
Yeah. You know what a really good documentary is? Sherman's March. Have you ever seen it?
Sherman's March.
Yeah.
Anything
Sherman's
about the
March.
Civil War, I'm down.
It's not about the Civil War.
Oh, shit.
It's about a depressed guy who wants to make a documentary about the Civil War. So he retraces Sherman's March, but he gets so depressed along the way, he decides to visit ex-girlfriends and friends along the way. And then he just ruminates about nuclear war the whole time. And
that's a doc?
Yeah, it's really good. It's actually, I would put it, to me, I would rank it in top 20. It's a great doc. It did win some awards when it came out in the 70s or 80s. And
that
so
sounds
it's
incredible.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
That sounds incredible. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, guys. You guys are here. We're here with author and writer, now filmmaker, Brandon Loren Maxwell. It's on the Daily Chela. Hope you guys are having fun in the chat and asking questions and all that good stuff. We've been talking about his film American Homeboy. It comes out in August in several different states. Now you're saying in 10 cities. That's incredible. Then it's going to stream later in the fall. Okay. But one of the things that you're really into is hidden topics of the day. So I wanted to kind of,
You're talking about politics?
Talking about everything. Yeah. I wanted to we're gonna play a little video. We'll come back and we'll start talking about different issues with Brandon if Brandon's game.
I'm always game. It's good. Surprise me.
Surprise you. Okay. I'm not gonna surprise you, but we'll be right back, guys.
When I worked in East LA, I wound up in the gang unit.
We didn't call ourselves gang members. We were social clubs.
There's a difference between a guy who's commuting to work and a car that's cruising and looks like a shark.
We're talking about a whole new culture. We had our own slang. The calor was different.
Chicanas and Mexican-American women were sort of using American culture.
It wasn't just the way they dress, it's the way they walk.
Streets ain't woke. You're gonna get shot and killed.
We're always different. We're going to be different. And this is just the way around it.
That's part of us being Chicanos, because that's what we went through.
American Homeboy, only in theaters this August and September. Los Angeles, Portland, Albuquerque, Tucson, Chicago, and San Francisco. Get your tickets now. AmericanHomeboy.com. All right, everybody. If you want to get some questions in while we talk about issues, a super chat's a great way to do it. It literally supports the channel, keeps the lights on, and you guys, all the members too. Later on, we have a brand new closing credits. We're gonna play those closing credits and say hello to all you guys because all you guys have been absolutely incredible. Over 100 paying members now. Fun. Okay, let's bring back our guest, Brandon Loren Maxwell, Daily Chela, American Homeboy. Let's talk about
First of all, can you hear me okay right now?
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay, because I don't hear myself. All right, there I go. I'm kind of going through a midlife crisis right now. I'm going to bring something up because I was looking at this video here. So here's my crisis. I grew up shaving my head, right? I think I've only had hair when I was really young. Okay. And then I had hair for like a year in my 20s once. But outside of that, I've always shaved my head or it's been buzzed. Now that I'm older and I want to have hair, I can't have it. And I always laugh. I'm like, when I was younger, I shaved my head because I was balding. Now that I'm older, I shave my head because I'm balding. And
boom.
I'm trying to reconcile this new, I don't know how I want to put it, like this problem that I'm facing because I have no choice but to shave my head. But what do I do? Should I have a goatee? Because then I look like a cholo. Everybody thinks I'm a cholo still, and I'm like, I'm not really. And so I
Right.
I have no consistent. I have nothing to do. There's nothing I can do, but either have a beard or have a goatee. But if I have my face completely shaven like my head, now I look like a baby.
Okay, well,
Fat
listen,
little baby.
who are you doing it for? If you're doing it for you and your old lady, if she likes the goatee, get that goatee. My lady loves the scruff, right? Loves that. So it's always there. And even though I'm definitely thinning on top, there's still some stuff there.
Not bad.
It can grow. I had recently shaved everything down. So, but I wear a lot of hats, especially on the show. So, maybe a new level of upgrade your hat game.
I do like hats, but I have a small head, so it's hard to find hats that fit me.
Ah, no, hombre. You could go to haberdashery, man. These guys have all kinds of sizes, bro.
Yeah.
And what you need to do is stop wearing all your Portland, Oregon caca, the
well,
Trailblazers.
I've always for me, yeah, it's usually either the Dodgers or the Blazers. Like those are the two teams that I have. I would say most of my hats are always the Blazers or the Dodgers. I hope Lillard goes to the Lakers. I think Lillard deserves to go to the Lakers. He deserves a shot at a title, but we'll see what happens. We don't like the Lakers or Lillard?
I gave up on basketball a long time ago. Yeah.
You're one of those guys.
I'm just a baseball man now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I love going to baseball games, but I love watching basketball.
Yeah.
Oh.
Basketball person is pretty dope. But yes, Krusty Moko, Brandon it does have a new conundrum, definitely.
Yes, this will be the next thing that I tackle after the film.
Wait, this is your next U.S. Supreme Court thesis. Johnny Gonzalez wears hats because got to wear hats like Paulie. Julissa, it's like me coloring my hair. Now that I have gray hair, I wish I didn't have to.
Yeah.
Bonzo says hair plugs. If you're going Hollywood, go full Hollywood. Tom Cruise has a completely full head of jet black hair at 60.
He does. I don't know. I'm starting to think there's something behind Scientology. I don't know how he does it. Pretty healthy.
Yeah, he was. I saw him on the latest red carpet, man. He was looking a little worse for the wear there. Our good friend Jim Watari, we hung out with him this past weekend at San Diego Comic-Con. What's up, my brother? Member of the channel. When I went to Cal State Northridge in '77. That is the name Chicano Studies Department. I was enrolled in Chicano Studies 130 class because I was part of minority engineering program. He's a Japanese American.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Nice, Jim. Nice. So look you're getting oh my God, you guys are both hot. Thank you. Thank you, Ari. Take the compliment. I'll take it wherever I can, man. Wherever I can. So yeah, I mean, listen, you're talking about your looks. I definitely would hit that form it and keep it.
Well, I think in like 10 years, I'm just gonna go full beard. I'm gonna go a huge beard, like Fedor Dostoevsky or something from.
Don't you see that's their organ coming out too much?
No, that's the writer coming out in me. I'm gonna grow a big beard.
All like obscure Russision novelist.
I don't want to be obscure, but I think I'm more obscure than most people realize.
With the look, no, I mean the look.
I'm gonna have birds living in my beard. I'm gonna have I'll be in the middle of Alaska, and I'll write great novels. Mark my words.
All right, here we go. Blazers not trading Dame. His best move now is to lead the young Blazers deep into the playoffs. LA.
We'll see. I think they tried that, but.
Go full boyar beard. Full hipster? Say it ain't so.
No way. All right. Well, that just turned me off to a beard.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
No.
But just also too, man, whatever you do, just keep your manly game going.
Hipsters are like the new Columbus, the way that they've ruined the neighborhoods. They just move in and they take over, they gentrify, they destroy, they take.
You know what I noticed, man? I was at the movie theater last night. I saw this hipster couple, and I swear to God, homeboy, he was taller, so that's good. I give him that. But he had smaller arm definition than homegirl. It's like, bro, push-ups, algo.
I will not judge a person by their arms, Paulie.
Oh yeah. I'm just saying, dog. That's a total hipster defining thing. That cut off tight black faded Levi shorts on dudes.
Yeah.
No, don't do any of that and start doing push-ups.
What's worse, hipsters or Edgars?
Oh God.
From a style fashion standpoint.
Oh God,
I don't like skinny jeans. I've never liked skinny jeans. I don't know if that falls into the category of either, but I definitely don't like the Dumb and Dumber haircuts that the media is trying to convince everybody has some sort of deeper meaning.
Yeah. I mean, this is really disturbing what Brandon just brought up, because I ran into some Latino kids with this horrific haircut the other night. And again, I think I was watching Oppenheimer. These kids were watching Barbie. Three boys with Edgar cuts going to watch Barbie. I don't know.
I thought you were going to say that the mushroom cloud in Oppenheimer reminded you of the haircut. I thought that was the link you were going to make, but every
maybe
generation,
they're doing too many mushrooms, those kids.
Every generation has its style, I guess. I don't know how this was. I still am not convinced it is what the media says it is. But whatever it is, it's a horrible, atrocious fashion. And
it really is.
Anybody who shows up at the premiere with one is going to be turned away at the door.
It's cultural heritage. Here's why. And of course, it's
I don't believe
by
it.
Me Too.
Yeah,
of course, it's Me Too.
I don't buy into it. I think sometimes we want to make up these stories to make ourselves feel better. So we try to apply, things that don't exist.
Anyways, it's a haircut that a lot of young Latino men are doing, and it's pretty disturbing. But what's really disturbing is that they have that head of hair, and it's technically a long hair, right? To get that Edgar. And so I've seen these kids with it, and the hair shakes and moves as they're talking and moving. I'm just like, oh, dude, go get a haircut, stand up straight. Yes, I'm an old man. Wow.
Anyways, all right, I'm ready to move on.
Well, hey, you brought it up.
Otherwise, you're gonna ruin my day thinking about
both equally.
Haircut.
Look at the crowd. The chat is chiming in. They're saying Edgar rights or wrongs rights. Nice. Okay. All right. Here we go. Very funny, guys. The Krusty Moco, Mexi Mullet Edgar. Over Edgar.
Yeah, probably.
Mexi Mullet, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Shakes like Jello. It's really scary to see. But see, if you're Three Stooges, then it's fun. It's funny. It's part of the comedy. See, but these people aren't wearing it like it's a comedian thing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's ready to move on. All right. Okay, here we go. All right, my friend. Patriotism in America. Recently, we celebrated, or didn't celebrate, the 4th of July, the founding date of this United States of America. And you had some interesting things that you commented and posted, and you got some flap, but we're now at our lowest in regards to patriotism, being patriotic towards your country, than we have ever been. There's new reports, new polls. This younger generation, maybe they're wearing the Edgars. They are not patriotic. What's your take?
What's my take on patriotism?
Well, like the things I just said in regards to, first, you put up a post saying, how you felt about it. And so let's go there. Okay. What exactly did you say in regards to patriotism in America?
Well, I don't remember what I said. I think it was probably something along the lines of, there are bad things that have happened in the past. I try not to dwell on the past, try to build up the future. I don't know which post it was, but generally my thoughts are along those lines. I want to work to make the country better. I don't want to tear the country down. And I think that there's still, anybody who's ever really traveled will probably tell you that how good that we still have it here. We're our worst off or still better off than people in a lot of other places. And we have a lot of opportunities and a lot of freedoms here that just don't exist in other major industrialized countries, like China, for example, where you can't criticize the government. Here you can socially critique and criticize and satirize whoever and whatever you want. And that's an extraordinary freedom, and it's a very powerful tool. And I think it's an important right that we should cherish, because we would not have had something like the civil rights movement without that afforded protection to speak out against injustices. And I think that the left forgets this sometimes when they get caught up in, the moment and emotions. And I think the right also is guilty of forgetting the importance of the First Amendment when they go on their sprees and rants about books and things like that. So that's kind of my view of this country. Have there been things in the past that are, wrong and atrocious and things that we should try to rectify? Yeah, I think we should have those discussions, and I think we should learn about that history. There's nothing wrong with talking about history. I made a film about history, and there will be some people who probably will want to cancel my film because we talk about history that's not convenient or popular. But when I talk about history, I talk about it with the intent of trying to improve our country and trying not to repeat past mistakes. I don't talk about it from the standpoint of we should tear down our country or tear down everything.
Well,
And I don't
here's what you said really quick. I don't hate the country like some people, nor do I dwell on or wallow in the past. Is it perfect? Of course not. But it still gives me the freedom to express what I want, believe what I want, critique who I want, and pursue what I want. These ideas alone are worth celebrating in regards to celebrating on 4th of July.
Yeah. Well, I think to me, it is. I mean, I do have the opportunity to pursue the things that I want. It's not guaranteed. There's no guaranteed outcomes. I mean, my film is an example. I wasn't guaranteed that I was going to be able to find a distributor or get the film made or have theaters pick it up. I just had to figure out a unconventional way to do it. But I still had the freedom to pursue that process and to try to find a way to make it work without anybody stopping me. And so, yeah, I do cherish those freedoms. And I think there's a difference between patriotism and nationalism. I think it's okay to love the country and where you're at. And but I think it can be dangerous when you start becoming nationalistic and viewing other people as lesser than you. Like, well, I'll use the situation at the border as an example. I mean, when I see people who come here from other countries, whether it's Haiti or whether it's Somalia or whether it's Mexico, these are our brothers and sisters. And these are people who are fleeing tough conditions much of the time. And in the case of Latin America, often fleeing conditions that were created by the US government. That's a fact. And so these are human beings. These are people. And we all share this place together, this world. And so I think you can love your country, but becoming nationalistic to the point where you become nativistic, meaning that you view people as being superior to other people, I think that's dangerous and that's wrong. And that's something that we should push back against. And so that was part of the reason why I had a problem with Trump, because I felt like even though, yeah, he bashed the media and went after the media and he fought back against critics, he pushed a brand of patriotism that was not really patriotism. It was nativism and hyper-nationalism. And I didn't like that, because I'm a big believer that our country operates better with lots of different people here, as many people who can come here.
So let me play devil's advocate in regards to that. I don't. Let's say both sides agree that we're obviously talking about human lives, and you don't want to treat human lives in a manner both sides have. But we are taxed. The system's taxed at the border. In a state of emergency in some cities, what is the solution there? If you're saying, because as far as in why is that being called nativist, right? I'm just bringing this up.
Sure.
I'm 100% down for wanting to do what I can to humanely treat people coming, whether it's undocumented, and that's what we're talking about. But at what point is enough?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, first of all, we had much higher percentages of immigrants in this country in the early 1900s than we do now. Okay. The majority of New York, the majority of Boston, the majority of San Francisco, all these places were majority immigrant. Okay. So this is not uncharted territory. But what I'm curious about is when we say, okay, the system is taxed. What does that mean? The system is taxed. The system is chokehold. It's backed up. Okay, so why is it backed up? Well, it's backed up because the process is not streamlined. It's not an easy process to become a citizen. We incentivize illegal entry by making a immigration process that is convoluted, complicated, bureaucratic, and inefficient. Now, if we fix those things, it wouldn't be backed up. And so from one standpoint of the system being taxed, that's one issue. I take issue with the other suggestion that you often hear from people that immigrants come here and abuse services. There's plenty of studies that have shown that for those who do use services, the output economically is still greater from a GDP standpoint than what they take. And, look, I've lived in areas that were majority immigrant, and I grew up with friends, many who were undocumented, and none of them were chomping at the bit to go down to the social services office and take services from the government. They didn't want anything to do with the government. Most of them didn't even have bank accounts, nothing. They did not want anything to do with the government. So the idea that everybody's coming here and then getting in line to abuse services, I don't buy it off my experiences and the friends and the people that I know who have come here undocumented.
So let me back up in regards to the tax system. Like you said, what I was saying is that at what point is enough? Because what you're seeing now is overflow at detention centers. Lots of people living homeless in El Paso, then being shipped off to Chicago, New York. Whether it's political ping pong, which is, I find equally, horrific. To me, that's like third, fourth down the line. It's what incentivized people so much to where it's an overflow. Because listen, we've always had migration, guys, the last 150 years. Why? Well, because of the system, the way that the U.S. system is set up as far as being imperialistic, and then because of the jobs. So, Brandon, it's kind of like this 150, 200-year problem in the making.
Well, I disagree that it's a problem, though. So that's one. But I'll say this, with the suggestion of homelessness, I'm willing to bet also that the vast majority of homelessness is related to drug abuse and drug usage than it is immigration.
No.
And so
what I'm referring to is, for example, in Chicago, right? Undocumented people, newly arrived, being sent to Chicago, and they are literally staying in police stations now, trying to get housing in abandoned schools, abandoned I don't know what.
Yeah. So, but
And
why
people
is
of
that?
color- and hold on. And people of color pushing back. It's like, we don't want them here. That's
Right.
a problem, Brandon.
Okay, that is, but who put them there? The government. The
Right,
government
that's what I'm
put them
saying.
there.
No,
The
I'm with
government
you.
put them on a bus and sent them over there. So we
But
should be
that's-
blaming government.
But that's, to me, that's third and fourth down the line from the origin of the problem is them coming here. And I think we agree on this in regards to making it so difficult to come in, get processed, and be part of the system. I think
Yeah,
we're in agreement there.
I bet you anything, the vast majority of those people, if you had a simple process that allowed them to become citizens, they already have family connections here. They probably already have job connections, all types of connections. They could come here and just integrate relatively easy into the country. But when you have government that's shipping them around and moving them around and sending them off to other states where they have no ties, and you have a process that's convoluted and complicated where they can't become citizens and it's expensive, then of course you end up with people who aren't integrated and they're just kind of floating around in this gray area of society.
So
that's a very visual area too. So if other people
Sure.
see it.
So what I'm seeing is now the U.S. citizens, these communities, pushing back on their Democratic leaders. Because what you're saying is, as far as the busing's being done by Republican leaders for the most part. They're playing this political game at the expense of human lives, and no one's coming to the table to really have, a great talk on and solutions on some immigration reform, where the Democrats were all in power for a while.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been done several times. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I had this discussion in, I think it was 2012 when Obama was president. I had this in Washington, D.C. And, I didn't see anything change under Democrats either. Latinos and immigrants are largely a political football, a pawn for both Democrats and Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a problem that neither one wants solved because Democrats run off of it and Republicans run off of it. And so,
okay. Go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna jump to the U.S. Supreme Court.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we're talking about this, guys, and if you're just joining us live or on the replay, fantastic conversation that we're having on varied topics with Brandon Loren Maxwell. Thank you guys for being here in the chat. The U.S. Supreme Court quoted you on a case, I believe, and it had to do with illegal undocumented immigration, and then you had your article here on the Daily Chela. Tell us about that. That is pretty incredible that you were part of that your words were part of a U.S. Supreme Court case.
Yeah, it was surprising, and it's interesting you can go to this U.S. Supreme Court website and you can view my name on that site in the docket. Basically, what happened was there was a case of whether or not encouraging undocumented immigration was protected speech, and the argument on the side of speech was that yes, it is. And if you were to say, no, it isn't, that means that journalists who write pro-immigration columns can theoretically be persecuted by the government.
Wow.
And so the argument on the other side was, well, people can take advantage of undocumented immigrants, or they can offer them services, try and get them to come here illegally. And so ultimately the court did rule that it is not protected speech. And what they said was there's no example of a journalist being persecuted yet. Therefore, it's not something we should worry about. Mm-hmm. But what happened was they pointed to my column saying that I was an example, and the Daily Chela was an example of a publication that in theory could find ourselves in the crosshairs of the government at some point because of writing pro-immigration columns, and they cited my column, Immigrants Make America Great. So yeah, that's how that happened. So they cited the LA Times, the New York Times, and the Daily Chela.
Dude, man, that's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing.
It was interesting.
Go ahead. It was
No,
interesting.
it was fun. Yeah, I mean, it was. I didn't expect it. You know, I mean, it was cool. You know, I just kind of do my thing, but.
So let's jump from there and let's take in from some people firing off in the chat, which is
Okay.
always a great thing. Keely Chow is a member of the channel. Thank you, Keely, for being here. Both the Republican Party and Democratic Party have taken the Black vote, the Hispanic Latin vote, the Asian, the Jewish, and other minority votes for granted. Brandon, you want to chime in there?
Yeah.
I know that's pretty
I don't know if
general.
the Republican Party is taking it for granted because they really never have gotten it. I think the Democrat Party has taken the Black and brown community for granted. Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, there's not a question in my mind. So, I mean, if they didn't take them for granted, they would be solving their issues. So,
yeah, I mean, that's a punto final. I'm going to put that, that period right there on the end of a sentence. Nicely said. Roland Cruz had said you also have to take into consideration that most of the people that have been migrating to these states have been coming due to American policies in their own home. You touched on that before.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. Yeah, I think a lot of the immigration, particularly in Latin America, and this has been the case for a while, that they are fleeing policies that have been put on Latin America by the U.S. government. I mean, even if you look at what happened in Central America, a lot of our policies by deporting people fueled the gang epidemic that they had there. Our policies with guns affect Mexico. Our policies with drugs, our demand as a society for drugs. I mean, there are so many different things that impact our closest neighbors in Mexico and Central America that are the direct result of policies. I mean, it's almost a crime to blame the people who are coming here and fleeing the results of those policies.
I mean, I would have to say that they're the last people you to blame. It's like you almost I understand.
I saw a video the other day of a mother. I saw a mother passing her little baby through barbed wire. Okay, to try to get the baby across. Now, can you imagine the level of desperation you have to hit as a parent to hand a baby that young and endanger them in that way because you have reached the calculation in your mind that that's more safe than raising them where you're at, that you're willing to take that chance. Can you imagine being there as a person? And I feel like there's a lack of, I think, empathy for these people and that level of desperation. Because when I see that, I just think, wow, I mean, I can't imagine. I've been in some hard situations, but I can't imagine reaching that point. And so, people aren't doing it for performance. You don't hand your baby through a barbed wire fence to perform. These are real working people who are fleeing and pursuing a better life for their posterity.
I think it's very human to wherever you go, right? Whether it's new town, new state, new country.
Sure.
That your priorities are always going to be economic upward mobility and safety. Then the other ones are, because seldom it's well, do they use pronouns in that country correctly?
Yeah, well, that's an indicator of how privileged our country is when you're able to focus on things like that. So, but yeah, go on.
No, and those are actually usually the same people that crap on patriotism and all the things that make this country work. So, again, I think we've had a nice. I want to move on, but I think we've had a nice kind of open discussion about it. I think we can both agree that these political parties, they just they're just not coming to the table, man. There are no real statesmen in these parties to really get stuff done. This, this needs to be worked on, Brandon.
The power is, it sounds cliche, but the power is with the people that are voting. At any moment, we can change things. We can turn things around. But you have to be willing to show politicians that you'll vote them out of office. And I think that one of the best tools that politicians use is trying to turn people against each other with the whole R&D. Oh, it's a Republican. Oh, it's a Democrat. I'll never vote Democrat. I'll never vote Republican. And it keeps you embedded on these sides as if you just 100% agree with every political issue on one side or the other. I mean, life's more nuanced than that. And if you think it's that simple, you aren't doing your due diligence as a voter. You should be voting issue by issue and politician by politician, and on whether or not those promises they're making on the campaign trail are being fulfilled. So you can boot these people out that aren't fulfilling their promises, and we should show them that we're willing to boot them out, because I guarantee you things would change overnight. But when you just are complacent, or you don't call them out, or you don't vote, then they go on like business as usual, and they don't fulfill their promises, and they take you for granted, which is what we're seeing.
Mm-hmm. I want to jump back to your film and the poll. We've ended the poll. How do you guys get your independent movies, TV, docs? 56% streamers, 24% cinemas. I don't, but now I will. 13%. I rent. 5%. There you go. Thank you guys for participating in that poll. Ice Cube was hanging out with Tucker Carlson recently. Created a lot of stir. I want to play a couple of seconds of this and then get your take on this, and I'd love to talk to you about it. Let's just hear a little bit from it.
You could do an interview with anyone. You're doing an interview with me. Obviously, you're going to take abuse for doing that. Like, why would you do that?
Because I think it's silly not to talk to people. I think whether we agree or not,
right?
That has nothing to do with it. It's like, this is what it's all about. Let's talk about it. Let's debate. And I've been shut out.
Wait, that sounds like right-wing extremism and whataboutism.
But I've been shut out. Some platforms will not have me on.
Why?
They don't like that I'm, an independent thinker. I'm not part of the herd. I'm not part of the go along to get along gang.
Wow. I think he just described you, Brandon.
That's the first time I've seen that. I saw his name trending yesterday, but I didn't know why it was trending. I've just been tied up with so many meetings. But yeah. So when did that happen? Did last couple days?
This is was put up yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And that's the interview. But then there was also on him hanging out in the hood with Ice Cube.
Oh, okay. So this was for Tucker Carlson's web show?
Yeah, the Twitter show that he has. So this has 4 million views as of 18 hours ago. And episode 10 called Stay in Your Lane, our drive through South Central LA with Ice Cube. Then he says, sit down, studio is the next episode. So these 2 episodes are out now. So this was the initial episode 10 was 2 days ago with over 10 million views.
Well, I think, I'm not a fan of Tucker Carlson, but I don't think what Ice Cube said is wrong. And I mean, why shouldn't you talk to people? I mean, I talk to people. I don't care what people's political views are. I'll talk with anybody. As long, I don't want to talk with somebody whose entire goal is to just sit there and argue necessarily. I don't mind arguing. I like debating, but I guess what I'm saying is people who have intentions that are legit, I will talk to anyone. So I think that Ice Cube probably represents a strand that is a lot bigger than most people realize in the streets, which is a lot of these guys who are either former prisoners or former gang members or involved in the streets at some point in their lives. You know, a lot of these guys are not the far left activists that the left would like to think they are. And so, I mean, he sounds like everybody that I know in the streets who I've known over the years. I mean, most of the homeboys that I know, they're not, I mean, they're pro Chicano and they might have some left views on things, but they're not Democrats per se, right? Like they're not anti-speech. They aren't necessarily, I don't think they have strong political views one way or another. I think they're like regular people. They just take into account their own experiences in life and they make decisions based on those experiences and based on the people around them, which means talking to people. So not everything is idealized. I mean, you know, in the gang world, they're pretty conservative. You make a mistake, you get your ass whooped. They're not sitting down and talking it over with you necessarily. And
Right.
so
There's no talking.
yeah. So I don't know why people are surprised when you see people come out of prison or come out of the gang world and they're more conservative. Because it's a conservative world. It isn't a mushy, let's kumbaya around a campfire world. You know what I mean? And so,
but they're black and brown. They have to vote Democrat. Don't you know this?
I mean, I voted
They
Democrat
told you
the
that.
last election because my alternative was Trump. Now I wasn't happy. I'm not happy with Biden. I don't like Biden. I won't vote for him again. But I did vote for him the last election because I wasn't going to vote for Trump. I couldn't stand Trump. But yeah, I do. I don't think Republicans deserve the vote of black and brown people until they get their act together. I agree with that. But I don't think that Democrats deserve black and brown vote going forward until they get their act together. I'm probably going to vote third party or for an independent candidate this next election.
Before we get to that, I bring this thing up with Ice Cube and what you've talked about because it seems that a black man or woman, brown, whatever, person of color, however you want to describe him, can't have these conversations with people that talk differently, that think differently from them, because you're giving them the platform. Heaven forbid you're giving the platform to people who have, you know, hate ideas.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? You're going to cancel this person, Ice Cube, who's been prolific since he was a teenager in the 80s. This isn't like he's acting different all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Right? He's always been a very independent, prolific thinker, and it's in his raps. What are your thoughts?
Well, you can't push disagreeable ideas to the darkest corners of the internet and believe that they're just going to go away. And we've seen this happen with elements of real right-wing extremism, where they just bubble up, they find themselves in forums, they recruit, things like that. You should let people expose their ideas, and you should combat those ideas through speech. And I think that the desire, the paternalistic desire to want to control people and what they're saying, it only backfires. What you should be doing is giving people who are listening more credit, because we can listen to somebody, the average person, and make a determination on whether or not they're an idiot. I remember back in the day, you'd get all types of people on Jerry Springer, and you know, a lot of disagreeable people.
Rest in peace, Jerry.
They'd go on Jerry Springer and they'd say all types of crazy stuff, but we knew they were crazy, you know, and you just let them say it, and people made a determination to that ideology. And so I think that we should get back there. I don't think there's anything wrong with debating people. And frankly, I think that a lot of it just stems out of this paternalistic desire to control things. And you can't. You know, we live in a big world with a lot of different perspectives, and the way that we solved our problems 100 years ago is going to be the same way we solve our problems now. It's going to be dialogue and discourse, and hopefully not another war.
Really quick, a buddy of ours, Joe Atmosphere, is going to get out of here. Great show. Pulling for American Homeboy. Thanks, Paulie, for introducing me to the unwashed the unwashed masses to Brandon. Hail all. Thank you, Joe. Thanks for being here, man. So you made some new friends here, Brandon. Every time you come on, they whether they agree with you 100% or not is like, that's not the point. You know, we respect and appreciate, independent thought, man.
Well, thanks. I don't know.
Thanks. That's it. That's all you got?
Yeah. Well, I don't think of
you.
myself as an independent thinker. I just think, or I just kind of do my thing. But yeah, I definitely don't. I think there's more nuance to life than left or right.
Amen. TF says NWA will now be known as Nerds with Attitude. Gotcha. I like that. Julissa, it's like Paulie said, we're politically homeless as Latinos.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. You look at Texas, and Texas is majority minority now, which is kind of a silly term, but it's.
I was just gonna say, wait a minute.
It is majority, Latinos, Mexican Americans, Mexicans now. And it really over the decades has not made much of an impact from a representative standpoint. Still conservative and Republican in a lot of the
states. What does that tell you?
Well, because it shows you there are
people voting those people in, whether they're left or right. The majority of the state is brown. Brown people are voting Republicans in.
It shows you the flaw of looking at all Latinos and painting them all with one brush. I mean, there's regional differences, there's cultural differences, there's historical differences. And so I think the Democrats, to a large extent, expected that portion of the vote to grow with the population, but I think they're seeing that hasn't happened.
Right. Ever since the Clinton days and the Rio Grande and that blue corridor that went with the Clintons, they thought it would grow, and it still hasn't 30 years later.
Yeah. And then meanwhile, on the other side, you have Republicans who do everything possible to try to push them away, so it's.
So how viable is a third party?
I think, I don't think a third party will gain any foothold from getting elected across the country and different things. But I think what a third party can do is it can work as a monkey wrench in the wheels of the political system. And so it's a protest vote, and it's meant to throw a wrench into the system. And when you watch all of these phony activists online that talk about what an activist they are and how they're about doing this and doing that, when it comes to doing something like that, they'll all come out of their shells like, oh, you can't vote third party, you're going to hand it to Republicans. Suddenly they won't be as activisty as they pretend to be. They won't be as they're going to return to what they really are, which is Democrats. Because a lot of these people, they put on this persona of being activists and holding power to account and challenging the people in power. But at the end of the day, they're just Democrats. They don't challenge Democrats at all. And so you'll see that. You're going to see that because if people vote third party, or people like me, you're going to get people online who are like, you can't vote third party. And so that's what happens.
I should also just maybe put, a third candidate. I mean, what you're seeing let's talk about the Democrats for a minute. What you're seeing in the party right now is two very popular candidates that are going for Biden's job that are Democrats. RFK Jr. and Marianne Williamson. As of yesterday, RFK in the Harvard poll was polled as the most likable candidates of all of them. What are your thoughts on all that?
I don't know how people listen to him with his voice. Like, I honestly don't. Like, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but to me, I'm surprised that many people are able to listen to him. I tried listening to him, and I got through like 2 minutes, and I was like, oh, I can't listen to this. So I don't see either one of them having the capability to get elected and win a presidential election.
You don't see
I
them
think it's
being a
wishful
threat to
thinking.
Biden in the process. In the
No, I don't.
what is it
Because
called?
RFK is not.
In the caucus process.
RFK is going to get mostly Republican votes. He's not going to pull Democrat votes. And the other.
Sorry, I did forget Cornel West. Yes,
I like Cornel West. So I like Cornel West. I've always liked Cornel West, but he can't get elected either. So I mean, you got to have somebody.
All right. West, RFK Jr., Marion. I mean, they're how big of a problem are they going to be for Biden and the party that keeps wanting everyone to toe the line? They don't want these people out there at all right now. This is an embarrassment to them. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think the Democrat Party should be allowing debates. I mean, if you're so democratic, then why don't you allow the process of democracy to take place when it comes to electing your own candidates? Like, so they should let them speak. And, you know, some people are going to lose votes. Some people are going to gain votes. And people can make decisions. Because right now, I don't think most of the American public is probably informed enough to cast a vote either way. So it probably bode well for the Democrat Party to give these people a platform. But they think the opposite.
Yeah, Bonzo Kilborn, who created my badass logo, my new icon. He says a third party would work if there was a national figure everyone could rally around. Bernie had the momentum, but he didn't have the guts to go all the way. I half agree with you. He got screwed over by the Democratic Party and Hillary Clinton. Did I say that? Am I going to get demonetized? Brandon, what are your thoughts?
I was never on the Bernie Sanders bus, but you know, there are aspects of him that I liked. You know, I think that Bernie's a true believer, at least. And sometimes that's all you can ask for in a politician, is that at least they are what they say they are. And I think with Bernie, he is what he says he is. So he's not going to pretend to be something otherwise once he gets in power, which is not the case with most politicians. So to that extent, I liked Bernie, but I didn't like Bernie necessarily because of his policies, because I'm not a socialist. So,
oh, there you go. Well, that's great, man. I think it's going to be interesting if it's going to get really interesting if Biden is not able to debate. I think that party's going to lose a lot of votes if Biden doesn't debate. He had a bye at the 2020 election. You know, he had COVID. They were able to what do you call it? Politic. What do you call it? When you run for president, I'm losing my words. During that time, so I think it's gonna be interesting, Brandon.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I didn't think we could end up in a more miserable place than we did 4 years ago, but it looks like we're going to. And I think that the main two candidates are going to be probably the exact same people that were 4 years ago, and except this time, everybody hates both of them. You know,
wow.
Before, Biden was an alternative to Trump. And he talked a big game about bringing everybody together and But 4 years later, you know, Biden is really not that conciliatory. And he's had a few scandals of his own. And so I think that it would be nice to just get some new candidates in there, period. I'd like to see Castro from Texas. I mean, if Democrats are going to put somebody up, I would, you know, he's really probably the only guy I would like. But certainly the vice president, I don't think has the chops. And
Castro? Julian Castro?
Yeah, I liked him.
Oh my God! Come on, we need a leader, man.
I don't agree with all his policies, but I think that you got to have
a statesman.
It would be nice to find a statesman. I think, unfortunately, the how our system operates at this moment, it disincentivizes great people to run for office because the media rakes them through coals. Politics is very dirty. And both parties, if they don't like you, they're going to work against you. And I think that a lot of good people in this country that could run, there might be some great statesmen even, They just don't. They don't want to put their families through it. They don't want to put themselves through it. So you got to find someone who has the chops to also, but also has the wherewithal, I think, to put up with everything.
You're absolutely right. Bonzo says they'll lose more votes if he does debate.
Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay. And Rosa Para's here. It was her birthday yesterday. Happy
Oh, I didn't
birthday.
know that. Happy Rosa. Happy birthday, Rosa.
Yeah, it was her birthday yesterday, man.
Our film reviewer over at the Daily Chela, by the way. And I can't not say enough how happy I am to have her at the site, because she's like the best that you can have, in my opinion. So
I 100% back up your opinion on that aspect. But yeah, Rosa's incredible.
see, I like Rosa because she'll go against the grain when she really believes it. So if she believes it in it, then she's gonna say it. And so that's what I like.
Yeah, I mean, and we're gonna sing your praises for a minute, Rosa. Is she's a mother for a scientist at her job. She and she's from East LA. Is it East LA or Boyle Heights? And she takes each situation as it comes. And in regards to film, like liking or hating a film, in regards to like Sound of Freedom, she got some flack for that. She's like, I'm putting out my review, let's do it. And I'm glad you guys ran that review.
Yeah, well, I think that's a good opportunity for our site to do what our site does, which is to allow different perspectives. And so, but yeah, we're happy to have her at the site. We have a few great writers at the site who are like that.
So Paulie for Presidente, here's the story, right? Paulie Fletcher, 2024. This man right here has been thinking about doing some stuff, right?
Talking about me?
Yeah, you.
Uh-huh.
In regards to maybe running locally, let's just say that. Okay, let's put you on the hot seat for a second.
Sure.
You're running for mayor of Portland, Oregon. Mr. Maxwell, this city is a dumpster fire. We got homeless, we got drugs, we got businesses leaving us. Small to major businesses leaving us. How are you going to get businesses back, get us back working, and literally clean up the poop in Portland?
Well, first of all, I would never run for mayor. So
No, you're running.
I am not running for mayor.
No, you're running.
I do not want that job. I think the heart of your question, I do think that down the line, more and more, I think there will be a point where I run for some type of political office because I love politics and I care a lot about some of these issues, and I'm not afraid of getting raked through the coals. So, what that looks like, I don't know. Time will tell. And whether or not I have the means to do it, time will tell. We'll see what happens. I'm still young from a political standpoint. So right now I'm enjoying making movies and writing, but yeah, I think we'll see. I'm weighing different things for outwards in 5, 6, 7 years. We'll see what happens.
His name is Brandon Loren Maxwell. The Daily Chela, American Homeboy, new movie coming out in movie theaters. There's his Instagram link. We got all kinds of links for you guys, whether you're watching this live or on the replay. Smash the like and comment. Comment. Also, too, double check right now. Are you subscribed to the Latino Slant? YouTube does some funny things. They take and they give, and yet they take. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. And let's lighten the rest of the talk here.
All right, I can give you 20 more minutes.
Oh yeah, no, we're you got like 10. I mean, okay. we're wrapping up, but thank you. as a young Fulio, doing your thing. What did you watch as a kid? Like, what was your thing? Were you into TV, film? Were you watching anything, foreign, or were you just, watching, Solid Gold? What's up?
Well, I
What's up with?
was more into music when I was a kid. I didn't watch a lot of TV.
Mhm.
But what I did used to do is I would listen to records, a lot. Because I grew up with, my mom was a singer at night. She worked as a school cook during the day, and at night she sang at bars. And my adoptive father played music at bars. And so I grew up with a lot of music in the house. So I was always listening to music, blues, uh, country.
Mhm.
I remember going through lots of records, listening to the Beatles. I was a big Beatles fan. I love the
Big Beatles
Beatles.
fan?
Yeah, I love the Beatles.
What's your favorite Beatles album?
Probably, I would probably say it's a tie between Abbey Road and the White Album. Those are both really great albums.
It's
But
always Abbey Road.
what's that? Well, Abbey Road, most people
No,
think Let
yeah.
It Be was the last album that the Beatles recorded. It
Mhm.
was not. It
Mhm.
just came out last. But Abbey Road was actually the last album that they recorded together as a band. So Phil Spector, he's the one that produced Let It Be, but the Beatles returned with George Martin to produce Abbey Road. That's an amazing album to end your legacy with when you listen to those songs. So I think that it's more than just the music. It's
Yeah.
also
Let's bring Fletcher in really quick. I'm gonna go grab my Beatle covers right now, my album covers, because I want to share with Brandon our love for the Beatles. I'll be right back, Fletcher.
Oh, cool. So, Brandon, if somebody right now wanted to support, is there a way that anybody could do that, whether they're watching this now or on the replay, to get the word out about American Homeboy, besides following you on Twitter or on or sharing the link to the movie and stuff like that? Is there another way that they can support the movie or get the word out about the movie?
Well, I think the best way that you can show your support, if you like what I'm doing and you like what our writers are doing, you like what we're building, go to dailychelatv.com and become a subscriber. You can subscribe for, I think it's $6.99 or $7.99 a month, and that would be a huge help to us because we're dependent on subscribers to keep growing, and hopefully we can produce future projects. So yeah, dailychelatv.com. You can download the app Daily Chela TV also from iOS or Roku channel store.
Nice.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right, Paulie, show me this Beatles thing that you're talking about.
Okay, here we go. Let me see. Make it make it big. So I got 2 albums from my buddy Tom Connors
Oh,
of
yeah.
Midnight's Edge
Yeah.
a couple of Christmases ago, because I had just gotten a brand new record player. It's in the
Yeah.
this is
Is that
Revolver.
Revolver?
Yeah. And I think that was the beginning of just their
Psychedelic.
psychedelic kind of adult phase.
Yeah,
And
they went from pop really quick to more psychedelic type stuff, and
I
then
think
they
they were
returned
just-
to classic rock. on the
Right.
last album.
And I think at this point they were so tired of like all that pop shit that and they'd stopped touring too. And then of course
Yeah, Abbey Road.
Come Together, Something, Maxwell Silverhammer, Oh Darling, Here Comes the Sun. Yeah, man. Beautiful. So good on you. You do have some taste, musical taste.
I love classic rock. Everybody assumes that I just listen to hip hop or something.
Or
Look,
Bretton Wood.
I
All you
do
listen to is Bretton Wood.
I do love 90s Chicano rap. I love Brownside, Little Rob, Kid Frost, Conejo, all these guys. But I also love Led Zeppelin, Beatles, Pink Floyd, Black Sabbath, you know what I mean? So I love classic rock and rock. So Doobie Brothers, there's a lot of good stuff.
Funk Dubious.
Funk Dubious. He's good. That's getting back into hip hop, but he's got a cool voice. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out there. People should listen to everything. You know what I really like is opera. I like
opera.
Yeah.
Opera.
There was an opera on The Life of Frida Kahlo that was out here for a month.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, someone
That's
sent me
cool.
the link. The video looked amazing. You know what? I still have it. You guys want to see it for? It's only like a couple of seconds. You want to check it out?
That sounds cool.
Oh, hold on a second. This was pretty wild.
Cool. Are they like doing like, you know, her artwork and Diego Rivera artwork on the background or something?
Let me show you, but video. Okay, here we go. Share. Do a rare Facebook share from our Latino Slant Facebook page.
Boomer. Boomer.
Yeah, totally. Okay, there you go. El último sueño de Frida y Diego. The
Dang.
ultimate dream, right? Or the last dream?
Yeah, it'll be the last stream.
The last dream.
So they
here-
included Diego. Yeah, el
here
último
you
sueño
go.
de Frida y Diego.
Yeah. Here you go, Brandon.
That's too upbeat for me, though. I like it, though.
I mean, it looks amazing.
Yeah, it's cool. Where was this at?
I think they're gonna say right now at the end. But my buddy went to it here in LA. It might be traveling. I'll send you the link. There it is.
Yeah, it's cool.
Brandon's more a Rigoletto fan, right?
I like sad opera.
Yeah.
There's some really good Russian opera.
Oh my gosh, Russian opera. See, he's melancholic, man. It's all Morrissey, man.
Russia has very good arts in general. I mean, there's some great writers that came out of Russia. Fyodor Dostoevsky, Leo Tolstoy. There's some really good writers that came out of Russia.
Diego Rivera, you know, has that same, you know, blockish, you know, communist style and stuff like that. That you see even like stuff like in Brasilia, you'll see like all the, like, you know, all the influence of the Russian artists and stuff.
Sure. Well, that didn't surprise me.
But that's cool, Paulie. Now we're venturing into like opera, man. We're like sophisticated homeboys.
My buddy who shared that is the great Jaime Gutierrez, you know, Gonzo lawyer extraordinaire. Want to give him a shout out. He sponsors the channel and is always down for independent Chicano arte. But yeah, Jaime Gutierrez. But one last thing, I know you gotta go. We're almost done here, and I wanted to share this with you. This is very important, probably more important than all the political talk that we have talked about.
Let's get
is when the haircut shows up in your hood, the price of tacos going up.
That's when it happens. Yeah.
So from this is
basic economics.
That's just wrong, man. You know, they got the leather aprons, you know, they got the salsa inside the squirt bottles. They ask you if you want avocado spuma.
You know, if you were to tell me what if these kids were in a horror film, I believe you. Because this looks absolutely horrific.
You kept me on for this?
Yeah, man.
Show me a meme of bad haircuts?
Yeah, well, we were talking about the
Edgar.
Edgar. We were talking about the Edgar, homie. Yes. I got sent this during the stream. People in the chat, a couple of people sent this to me.
We want your opinion, Brandon. You know, these are the issues we want the Daily Chela to cover. You know,
well, I'm a man of few opinions. You know that.
He's obviously Edgar triggered, so we're gonna say that.
Are you sure it's not Edgar adjacent or something?
Edgar adjacent. Oh, I'm definitely not Edgar adjacent.
Whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Okay, American Homeboy. One last pitch. Here we go. Go for it, Brandon. Let's make you big.
Go see the movie. It comes out starting next month in a number of different theaters. It's playing in San Francisco, Tucson, Albuquerque, I don't remember else. San Francisco, Chicago. Go to AmericanHomeboy.com. Check it out. Theater dates. We're adding more theater dates next week, so we'll make those announcements online. And then the film will be available on iOS and Roku on the Daily Chela TV app, which you can download starting September 14th. So make sure to check that out. Our world premiere is a week and a half away in LA on August 10th. So I'm very excited for that. Yes, you will. And we'll be posting pictures, and hopefully people like the film. If they don't, I don't know what to say. But
I hope I like it, because we don't do freebies here as far as reviews.
I think people will enjoy the film, and I'm excited about it, and I'm ready to move on to our next project. But yeah, thanks for having me on.
Thanks for getting here, man. It's been a minute, and we always love having you on and chatting about different topics. But I will see you very soon, and yes, we will do. I'll record some video from the event.
Yep, sure.
We'll put it up. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to keep on supporting American Homeboy to where everyone is going to be seeing it. If you're on the Latino Slant, you're going to be seeing American Homeboy. All right, brother. Have a good one. Have a good rest of your day.
Sounds good. I'll see you in a couple weeks. Week and a half.
A couple weeks.
All right, man.
All right, cool.
There he goes. There he is. There he was. The great Brandon Loren Maxwell. What are your thoughts there, Fletcher?
I thought it was great.
Wrap up the show.
Wrap up the show. Yeah, it looks like a great film. I like that Brandon's sticking to his vision for it. It's great to see that he has the guts to do that, because we see a lot of people who sometimes don't. They're willing to compromise their vision for something just to get that deal. But when you're able to do that, you're usually creating something that's from the heart. And I'm glad, and I hope that everybody supports the movie. And like I said, I hope it's good.
Here's the thing, guys, right? I mean, whether you're watching this live with us or on the replay, and you're part of that community that wants entertainment, that's screaming, that's hating on Hollywood, this is a way for you to support and be part of independent filmmaking. It doesn't get more inventive, un-Hollywood than the path of this dog called American Homeboy. So we're just happy we can bring him to the channel, and you can get some insight. It's all very enjoyable and insightful. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed the talk. I'll go check it out on SF. I think it was June though, Julissa. I think it already happened, because those dates were June, or was it June of next year? God, I'm so old.
Yeah, I don't think he he has like all the dates already done. So maybe check.
Wait. Okay, what do you think of American Homeboy? Yes, it is in San Francisco. No, you're right.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the opera. Excuse me. I was thinking of the opera. Ciao, great people, a great stream. Thank you, Mojin. Yeah, he's got a poker face. He really does. Yeah.
He probably has a mom like always thinks you're sassy, and if your mom thinks you're sassy, you develop like that poker face. It's like, te estás riendo de esto.
Yeah, he's got a good. It's like, I was like, man,
Yeah, this is my happy face. This is my sad face.
I was like,
this is my.
He was freaking me out for a second. Okay. One last announcement. Again, I just got an update. I actually got an update during the show, guys. We will be having our Blue Beetle movie ticket giveaway event. Right? We're giving them away. Like anyone now who sees this, we are going to pay for your movie ticket, pay for your popcorn, get you down to see Blue Beetle. I'll be there. I'm going to have some of my, wonderful actor friends. Of course, Romy's going to be there. Get a chance to hang out and chat. Here's what I got. We are doing this at AMC 8 in Burbank, the AMC 8 movie theater in downtown Burbank. This is very exciting, guys, and we're working on the exact day and time, but we can tell you it's going to be the weekend of the 18th. Fletcher, anything to add to that?
Yeah. So what we want from everybody is to share the news about this, and the more people we can get involved, and the more people that can share this, we're able to make it bigger, to make it hype. What we really want is we really want to have good time. We want everybody to have a good time, and we really want everybody to, it depends. Like, if enough support happens and we kind of get the ball rolling and maybe get a couple more sponsors, nothing is ruled out, right?
Nothing's ruled out. Listen,
right.
listen. This is happening. This is happening very quickly, last minute. The reason why, I'm going to be very honest with you guys, I'm seeing a lot of just garbage hate from channels. Some are friends of mine, some aren't. I think it's bullshit. I think, I just have never seen so much garbage hate to a film that no one's seen, no one knows nothing about, because maybe the director said something stupid. I don't care. Right? I want to see the film. This is very pivotal in Latino films in Hollywood. Right? So yeah, do I want it to be a success? Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's have fun and celebrate this opening weekend. I'm going to pay for movie tickets, popcorn. If this thing gets bigger, if it blows up, who knows? Maybe we'll throw in some plane tickets or whatever to someone that wants to come. But if you're in Southern California, even if Northern California, Julissa, you want to drive down with the familia, I will take care of all your for sure, all the theater and all that stuff. I just want to get the word out now. It's the weekend of the 18th. Oh, I put 19th there. Oops, 19th. I know, but I'm just so sick and tired, bro, of yeah, it's a weekend of the 18th. They should hire me. They should hire Hollywood. We've talked about this. Every Hollywood studio needs to hire the Latino Slant for Latino consulting. I will say I do like how they're hitting the grassroots. They're hitting the ground, Fletcher, in Latin America with Blue Beetle and the director. They're going to be in Mexico City in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Dude, it's really smart with what I'm seeing.
Yeah, and usually when you go to El Distrito Federal, which is Mexico City, they usually do things like around a Zócalo or something, which is like the center of town. And there's a lot of cultural events and stuff like that. If they're able to make some kind of presentation there, a lot of that stuff goes viral, and there's so many tourists that come that they need something like that. I mean, I saw they were doing a lot of stuff with like the Barbie boxes, dropping them off in like Lima, Peru, and stuff like that. So in different places, they're dropping those Barbie boxes. I think they need to do something similar. I don't know if it's a suit. I don't know if it's like the flying scarab. I don't know if they're able to do that. But whatever they need to do something that's able to have like that viral buzz. And also, guys, don't forget to Paulie. If you don't follow Paulie on Instagram and stuff, and Twitter, if you check out on Instagram, he's got and YouTube here. We got the Daily Beetle. So every day, Latino Slant is gonna be letting people know what's going on in the Blue Beetle world until it hits. And I think it's gonna be cool. The part of this is, like Paulie said, we're just trying to create something fun out of something that looks fun. It looks fun.
And listen, Lord Thoth, you've been with me for a while. I'm not telling you to pay for anything. I would never tell you guys to pay for anything unless I saw it. Okay, I'm creating an event, man. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I don't appreciate. And I love you, Lord, but this is the brainwashing that I'm talking about. Is that we're so like on this hate thing. It's like, guys, give it a rest. Let's actually do something fun. And if the movie sucks, it sucks. But we're gonna
Then we can all talk about it sucking.
We're gonna watch it together. We're gonna eat some popcorn. We're I just get frustrated, man, because it's like you can't. It's like it's the same thing with a political view of like if you're a Republican or a Democrat. It's like, oh no, you can't like it because it's this. It's like, what the hell? You can't like it because a director said something stupid. Let me tell you guys something. I'm not trying to go after Lord Thoth. Let me tell you guys something. I'm going to take you guys off for a second. You go and look up any producer, any director of a film, and I will guarantee you're a beloved film you love. They have said something that you will probably vehemently disagree with. This is nothing new, guys. And to ridicule and point out to this one director because he said some bullshit stuff. Well, what about these other directors? It just kills the whole momentum or the purpose of going to see entertainment, right? And we're saying like, well, we can't be so sensitive. Don't be sensitive, man. The guy just said something stupid. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna go check it out. Listen, this is a big reason why too. I'm being totally honest with you. That I'm not on a lot of other people's channels because I cannot take the consistent negativity, the lazy, low level punches that a lot of these channels take on Hollywood, directors, producers, writers, and actors, because a lot of these people are my dear friends, loved ones, and I don't play that. Now, I will check Hollywood. I will check a studio saying you're doing this wrong because I have seen something. I've given this is my informed opinion. But at that same time, someone can create something beautiful at the same time. It's kind of weird, right? That's called life. That shit just happens. Guys got screwed up politics, but creates something beautiful. She's a feminist, but creates something interesting. I want to check it out. Guys, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Think for yourself. You do things for yourself. I mean, we're talking about movies. We're talking about having fun. And this is why I'm doing this damn event. I want us to have fun and come together. It's that simple, guys. I went and saw Haunted Mansion last night, Disney's Haunted Mansion. And I went in and I said, I'm not going in with big expectations. I'm not too happy with Disney. I don't know. And they blew me away. I had a great time. 100% family film. Take your kids. It was fun. Why they can't do that with Little Mermaid, with Snow White, they're having so many problems with all these. I don't know. I don't know, guys. All I know is what I see. And that's it. That's it. That's it. And absolutely, you don't have to spend your money on anything you don't want to. I'm not telling you to. But what I'm doing is I want to create a fun event and get the word out in this movie. Because if this movie is garbage, we'll take it from there. We'll take it from there. But I have no problem being biased on a film that's pivotal for Latinos in Hollywood. And if that makes me woke, or if that makes me, I don't know what, I don't give a flying F. It's silly, man. It's silly that we've come to a point where it's like, I'm excited about this superhero film that has all Latino roles, and then I'm called names. I mean, what the F? But Just like someone just said, you can't please them all, and I'm not pleasing anybody. What I do want to do is please you with this event. I want to have a fun event. Let's see what some of these comments are saying. Love this. Let me know if you need anything, maybe where I can donate or something. Well, I want you to be there, Rosa. We want Rosa to be there. Absolutely. We've put this. I can tell you that Blue Beetle Night is with Latin Heat Media. And Bel Hernandez is kicking ass and organizing for this for us. I have some interesting information that I shared with Fletcher. I had some interesting information that I shared with Fletcher in regards to the movie studios, and we're not doing this in conjunction with.
It's not sponsored. Yeah.
It's not sponsored by.
Nobody's paying. Yeah.
No. That's not
true.
true.
I mean, in the studio, the studio
is not behind this event.
Right.
Right. They're doing their own thing. This is 100% sponsored by Latino Slant, Latin Heat. Some other people are coming on. We are paying for your movie tickets, for your popcorn, and we're gonna try to also do a dinner before at the art house. But this is not in conjunction with the studio. We're doing this for you guys. That would be so much fun. Too bad my kids will be back at school. Oh, that sucks. I'm gonna go to opening weekend for sure. If you guys are in LA, come with us to opening weekend. Directors really need to think of the way they say, because it turned the audience off. Some people think out of their ass. That's just how that they said. That doesn't mean that they can't entertain us, and it doesn't turn everyone off, Solomon. I get it, but it's like all right. I don't know what else to tell you that. My God, been lurking while working. Only cause stuff maybe people agree with. I'd never watch. Okay, if I only watch stuff maybe people agree with, I'd never watch anything. I mean, that's just it. You got in some cases you separate art from the artist. I mean, give me your favorite film, Fletcher. Name me your favorite friggin' movie. I'm trying not to curse. I'm really trying here, guys. I'm really trying.
Oh man,
what's up, Unadopted? Unadopted, are you subscribed to the channel? I hope you are.
I think it would have.
What's your favorite movie? So someone name me a favorite movie in the chat.
Thief used to be like my favorite movie. The Bicycle Thief. It's an Italian movie.
Okay, all right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Give me an American film.
A good American film that I watched not too long ago. It's Book of Eli. Book of Eli.
Book of Eli.
I love
Great.
Book of Eli.
Denzel Washington.
Right?
Gives these speeches, like really based speeches on the press conference, on the press red carpet, or he'll go to a Boys and Girls Club. There's people who don't agree with him. Should shut up, Denzel. Shut up and entertain us. Can't say that, man. Right? Book of Eli. It's about the Bible, saving the Bible.
Spoiler.
Some people don't want that. That movie has an agenda. Hey, it had a message, but man, that agenda was to entertain the crap out of me. Lawrence of Arabia, one of the greatest films ever made. Director David Lean. About a white guy who brought Arab tribes together. Screw that white supremacist guy. I don't ever want to see that film anymore. Do you guys see where I'm coming from? You can find a freaking problem with anything. Top Gun. Tom Cruise is a kook. It's jingoistic. It's nationalistic. I don't want to give that movie my money. I don't want to be entertained. Unforgiven is one of my favorite movies. Clint Eastwood never said anything controversial. That guy taught to an empty chair at the RNC. I'm not going to stop watching Clint Eastwood. You have to separate Tom Cruise from on-screen Tom Cruise.
I know my brother-in-law was like, anything Tom Cruise is on, he's not gonna go see it, and I'm like, oh man.
Oh,
So then I had to go see Indiana Jones. I was like, oh gosh, I can't believe I got to go see Indiana
oh.
Jones.
The big guy, Dash 088. Are you a member of the channel? Tell me right now. Tell me right now, then I'll answer this question. Type in right now if you are now remember, if you're subscribed. Everyone that's this is extra time right here. And listen, I apologize if Lord Thoth took it personally. I don't mean to go after Lord. I love you to death. But I hope you guys see my frustration is that I go on these big channels, I have different opinions, and I don't have a good time because not only am I it's not welcomed. Most it's I got to deal with the panel and then the chat.
Yeah,
If
and
this fostering of bad, the fostering of just a negative outlook the entire time. It's not good, man. It's not good. What were you gonna say?
oh no, I was just saying that some of this stuff was like, being on the right of what people say. They have like the whole box. It's like I sit on the left, I sit on the right, and like if they put me in the box, I'll probably be like far right. And
Yeah,
the stuff that
we disagree.
yeah, we totally disagree. I
We
mean,
disagree on some
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, and I was like, with the Blue Beetle movie, even I was like, I don't agree with what the director is.
Neither do I. I love
And
I'll make it
exactly,
real clear. I don't
and
agree with what the
right,
director said.
right, and I, my stand on George Lopez, but I like Jaime Reyes, character, and I do like. I don't think he was. I don't think it's like one of those like like Rip Assess and all that kind of stuff, a tokenized character. I think they actually created a pretty good character. That because it's a totally completely different character. But I also like Sholo. I like him as an actor, and he's on what's considered a right wing show, which is Cobra Kai. And a lot of people were like against it, because it's like, oh, it's a too toxic male and stuff. I mean, you can't, like you said, no, you can't win with if you try to open a box, of Pandora's box of people's past or what they said before, you're gonna find something you don't like. Um, you know,
All right, let's go. Yes, I subscribed. Yes, I'm with you, Fletcher. I'm with you. We can go on. What night? I will go the same night out here in New Jersey. Cool. Looks like we're looking at August 18th or 19th, that Friday or Saturday night.
yeah, I guess
Rosemary's Baby is one of the greatest horror movies ever. The director is a map. I mean, Polanski, Chinatown, Rosemary's Baby. Yes. Yes, man. So you compared Soto to that. Soto's like it said some stupid stuff about politics and then about Trump and then went after a fan or two. He knew he was wrong. He took that shit down. That was absolutely stupid.
yeah,
But with Blue Beetle, right? People have a love-hate for George Lopez. I don't care. This looks like a fun movie. I hope to God it comes through. And I absolutely love Xolo Maridueña. So we'll see. But let's take that time to have an event. Okay, we're gonna have an event.
yeah, and it'd be a fun event because
It'll be
whether
a fun event.
you
Damn
know,
it!
will it be good or not? It doesn't matter. I mean, it has a family. It has it has all the things that we recognize, and it's something that it's if you want to know catering to, it's catering to us because no matter who's in the family, we have a family member like that. So. And I think it'd be cool. Are you gonna do a blue a blue carpet interview or live stream? That'd be cool.
We'll figure that out. I think anything that we film will be like kind of like game day decision. I think because we're ramping this up and we have a potential to bring in other crowds. We're definitely going to take over a movie theater, a screening at the AMC. We can have a few hundred people there.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool to to have a thing like a Latino slant mob.
Yeah. Real quick, and then we're gonna end this. It was because you're reviewing the second Blue Beetle preview that encouraged me to take the time to see it. You know what? That second thank you, big guy. That second one really hooked me. The first one I was like,
Yeah, the second one really helped a lot of people.
JP, I'm with you, Paulie. I'm gonna give Blue Beetle a chance mainly because of your coverage, and like you said, it looks fun. That's it. And look, Polanski's premiering a new film in a film festival. Yeah, you can go through all these people. They're deeply flawed people. Kevin Spacey, James Gunn. Where's the? You might as well. Okay, I'm just gonna stop watching anything from Hollywood. If you're gonna go down that route, you know what I mean. That reminds me, Paulie, you wouldn't let people interrupt you the other day on a show. It was great, thank you. It's frustrating not letting to hear other people. When you're interrupting someone in their mid sentence, it's like, hey, you got to stop that. You got to cut that out. Paulie, I must say your promotion is much better than the trailer I saw of it. I must say your promotion of Blue Beetle is so much better than the trailer I saw of it. Oh, okay. Well, you didn't like the trailers? The second trailer is really good.
The second trailer is not bad. Yeah.
There's my dude. Word of mouth will be important in regard. Listen, it's everything. And let me go back. And I think my non-Latino audience gets that I'm very fair. I cover everything. I cover a lot of non-Latino shit. Like, I'm not just like, oh yeah, just Latino for Latino. Deleted knows. I saw Haunted Mansion last night. I absolutely loved it. I was completely surprised. And is it gonna change the world? No. Is it like you know what I'm saying? It was a surprisingly fun film. It's got good laughs, good frights, great ensemble cast. Take the whole family. What more do you want to tell you?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I was like, damn, this is probably the best thing that Disney's put out this year.
Yeah.
And maybe no one's gonna know about it.
Yeah, you were pleasantly surprised. And that goes to show you, like, when you're looking at things, sometimes you need to go in it with kind of like that hopeful, mentality, kind of going like, well, let's see what this brings,
Yeah, man. I mean, but I kind of got that first 5 minutes. What's that? Oh, okay, I'm still live, babe. Let me close the door. Thank you, honey. I kind of what was I gonna say? I lost my thought. Let's go on. Paulie's honest. Tenoch was Paulie's ace, but even he felt the Slantino wrath. Bonso, you're absolutely right. And I still love Tenoch's acting work. But I didn't go after him personally. I went after the film, the filmmakers, and Disney. Marvel. The movie is bullshit. So, Paulie, I have learned that people need to learn to separate art from. That's just it, man. That's just it. I have a lot of Hollywood friends that I agree with, don't agree with, but some of these are my really good friends, guys. And one of them is my lady. She's pretty base. On interrupting people's train of thought, when people are working toward a thought, when people are getting there, they never get back to the point. I'm like, what were they going to say? Correct, Darren. Correct. Absolutely correct. And especially if you want to have a discussion, what that says to me, and this happens every time to me when I'm on bigger channels and I get interrupted, You're not really listening to me. You're not hearing where I'm coming from. You just want to get your dogged opinion out, no matter what.
Yeah, it's like they're going in with an agenda already. They already kind of surmised everything that you're probably going to say, and they're more,
no matter what,
more astute.
Okay, looks like we're on for the 18th, but we don't have a time. Wow, we're getting updates right now as we're talking in regards to our Blue Beetle event. Fun. So you know what? Let's change this. We can here's what we can say here. Blue Beetle night, August 18th. That's a Friday, right?
Let's see. August 18th, it is a Friday.
At the AMC Burbank. So more details to come. Here are the details. AMC Burbank 8. And that's a cool theater.
It is.
This is fun.
Even TF says that August 18 is National Fajita Day.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, if anything, guys, you're going to get guests on here that I bring on that sometimes I don't agree with. That's the point. That's the point. But I let them talk. Like we have a good talks, man. Joe's answer. Yes, we, the unwashed non-Latinos, love your takes. At least this Irish and Native American does. Hail, hail, Joe Atmosphere. I love it, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Yeah, I know, Darren. It's very frustrating for me, but it's all good. Spill the tea. Spill the tea. Who interrupted? Hey, what's up, Visinger? Good to see you. What's up, buddy? So here are the details of our Blue Beetle movie night happening August 18th at the Burbank 8. Is that we are getting a at least one screening. We're taking over a movie theater, probably a 200-seater, and it's for you guys. Anyone that wants to come with me, I'm gonna pay for your movie tickets. I'm gonna pay for your popcorn. Maybe we'll do some. Well, we're gonna have some merch to give out. That's another thing, Fletcher. Let's mark that now. Latino Slant merch is a for sure thing. I'm gonna have for you guys. You know what? We're gonna have. You know what? We got to figure out what we're gonna give out, Fletcher, and it's gonna be badass. It's gonna be badass. National fajita. I love fajitas, man. I love fajitas. I'm getting really hungry right now. Getting pretty hungry.
Yeah. Be funny to do but we can't really do like blue fajitas. And if you put beetles in fajitas, I think that would not go well either. Although, you see chapulines in Mexico, which is, the little grasshoppers.
Oh.
They had to dip them, they fried them, and they also dip them in chocolate.
Okay, now we're going to wrap it up with a very important video, and that is the new closing credits with the latest members of the channel. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Bring this
if you
up.
Want your name in there? Just become a member.
Come on, y'all.
Wait a minute. Let's pause this. Look at that. Look who's got his own single credit.
What? Woohoo!
The man. Beetle fajitas. Ugh.
Beetle fajitas? I know.
It's dinner time. My dude, I love you. Here we go. Fletcher is the sole producer now. Beautiful. Good job, man.
Get extra fajitas.
We got wonderful people from KMFS, James Esparza. Here are our members. We're gonna name everyone off. Ev K Bar, 23 months. That means how long you've been a member. Aged Boomer, 22 months. Aiken, 19 months. Alejandro Montoya Marin, 25 months. Alex Ojeda, Aylin Octavian Moldovan, Aaron Radcliffe, Bebop Boop, Black Saber, Blackia, Cameron Vale, Casperius, Cecil Neal, Carvel Gaming, Chris Apodaca, Claudia Pimentel, Clobbering Times. It's Clobbering Times. 27 months. Kokuyo Productions, Comics Division's Platform Shoes, Copper Indio, Culture Casino, 27 months. Cyberchud, 2077. Cyber Soldier, 23 months. Darren Dockenblack, Dante T.E.Z., Darius Munchausen, 27 months. Daryl Brewer, 17 months. Darren Hughes, Darth Plato, 20 months. Darcipio, Dave, Dwayne Oldson, 14 months. Donovan Bradford. Oh, you know what's cool too about this, guys? Yes, it's alphabetized and it's in the different brackets. So these are the soldados, the biggest ones, right? The biggest ones. These are the members here. This is badass. Dwayne Oldson, 14 months. Donovan. Oh, what did I do?
Oh, you went back.
Yeah, I went back. This thing's here. Let me go off here. We're at the D's. Darren Hughes, my brother, and a lot of you guys are here, which I love. Douglas Nelson, 24 months. E. Clay Thomason, Fletcher. What? Fletcher. Gary Gordon, Gonzalo Bergari, H.M. Ibun Kuhn. I always get this guy's name wrong. What is that?
Which one? Oh,
Isai
Matodi.
Isaj
Matodi.
It's Courtney, Fellowship of Oddballs, Jaime G, Jaimin, Jim Watiri, Jose Luis Castellanos, JPRPH1, Julissa Witzel, just another red shirt, 27 months. 27 months, homeboy's been with me. Keely Chow, Larry, last call with Troy Pacelli. Lord Thoth, 27 months, you've been with me. Don't be leaving me. I'll kill you. I will cut you, Lord Thoth, if you leave.
I'll kill you.
LQ3, Manolo Rivera. Hey, Manolo. Hey, Manolo. You know, I love that's such a Latino name. And here I am stuck with Paulie.
Oh my
Manolo.
gosh. You sound like my wife with like, why are we Williams? Why are we Williams? Yeah. Why don't you use your second name? And I'm like, if I use my second name, it's like, you know, if we keep all the Latino names, you know, then our name would be like huge.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to do that. We don't do that. That's funny.
And then nobody can spell it. I'm like, isn't it easy when people are spelling it when you're on the phone?
That's funny, man. That's funny. All right, let's finish this out. We're only on the M's. We're still on the M's.
Yeah,
Maria Latintelli, Mark Medina, Matt W, Matey Boo, 20 months. Mike has bad knees. Mike likes tacos, 21 months. Monica S, 17 months. Monkey Jeebus, Mr. CCDV, 24 months. Mr. Buttcrack Media, Netters Network, 17 months. Olaf Vanes, 18 months. Pete Den Kant, Pahar Mohinta, Red Tigers, 18 months. Read by Nature, Rida In Mohammed, Rob Altus. Got a lot of Indian and Indian nationals.
Yeah,
I love it. Rooftop Korean, 25 months. 25 months of Sander Hammerslag, Sander, 13 months. Hammerslag. Sean Estep, Seth, Sean Stackhouse, Shelly Lee. Shelly Lee is always giving out new memberships.
Yeah.
Beautiful. She's cool. We've seen some Indian films together. Very cool. Shelly, you better be coming to Blue Beetle with us. Who's coming down?
Be there.
Chinatsky is an LA boy. I better see your ass there. 20 months. Sporking News Podcast. Stuntbread 777 Smith. Cyfax is coming. He's coming. TF, the Dork Knight. He's in Vegas. Maybe
it's in Vegas. Yeah.
Jack of all casuals. 23 months. The Equalizer. Toxic Man Flu. T-shirted historian. Oh, I did it again. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. TZ Burton, Uriel 316. That's my primo. Valiant Renegade, 27 months. Look at that guy. Love that. Visinger, Web Peeler, Vorpal Snack, Willie the Monkey King's Music, Zachara 315, Zax for 19 months, Zombie Box Reviews. Yeah, and that's just the soldados. Here are the capitanes. That's the next level up, which I love of our memberships. Absurde Luis, bass player.
Yeah.
2011, Iffy. Eric O'Sullivan, 22 months. 22 months, my homie. 22 months. Jake D, 27 months. Jake D used to stream. We used to be on Jake D's channel a couple years ago, man. A couple years ago, myself, Football, Foul Ball Productions, Nick Weiser. We were that crew that came out of Nerdrotic. Like, the Nerdrotic chat.
Yeah.
Johnny Gonzalez, 14 months. K-Popcorn, 27 months. That's my mom. Thank you, Mom. RC from the NYC, 27 months. And now the generals, the highest level that we have here, that gives you the ability to talk smack and you can still be on the channel. Just kidding. Channel Starface, George the Giant Slayer, 8 months. Deleted Scenes, 21 months. Thank you, Steven. D.D. Myers Jr., 27 months. Mexican Iron Man, 27 months. 18 months. That 70s rock fan, 27 months, guys. 27 months, guys. Some of you fools need short. Some of you fools. Also, I'll never leave you, Paulie. Never. Thank you, Lord Doth. Thank you. It's Latinos, baby. Great live. Keep your Beatles blue.
Keep your Beatles
That's funny,
blue.
man. That's funny. We got some music. This is a new song I added. It's called The Settle. It's closing credit song by James Esparza. Let's listen to this song. I love this song. This is my new song I've been using in a lot of videos. Check it out. Thanks again to Fletcher Williams, Brandon Loren Maxwell. Had a great time here, guys. We'll be live again next Monday. Working on our guest. Working for you guys. Have a great weekend. You have a great weekend. Thank you to the OGs hanging out this whole time. Time to eat. Lunch or dinner. OG! Yeah, yes you are, man. I'll be live Midnights at Español Saturday morning. Saturday morning, guys. I'll be live. And I also have a movie review tomorrow night. Horror film. Talk to me. Me and Romy are going to see the movies tomorrow night. Muchas gracias. Another great stream. Julissa, love you, lady. Thank you for everything. All right. See you guys.